Morning, guys. Hope we're all having a good Thursday.
Give it time for you to jump on, and we're going to do our cardio and core. So open some windows, grab a drink, get your mat out. That's all you'll need today.
Shorter session today.
Yeah.
So it will be, it's only 2 rounds of this because the Monday, Wednesday, Friday sessions are longer and we're adding in those little finishers into it as well. But apparently I speak too fast and getting reprimanded here for speaking too fast.
He gets so excited when he gets to train, especially when he's training with me, because this doesn't happen very often.
What it is I'm trying to get a word in before Maria starts talking and rambling on, so that's too fast.
And you will often find that it's one of us or the other, because we're not often
at home
together.
This sort of
Secret of a happy marriage.
Yes.
Right, so there's a few on there now, so we'll get started. So just our usual warm up, bring it onto your toes, and let's get started.
I made that McGee today, this ball dangles. You like this one? No. Did you like it?
Ignore him. Carry on. Nice and light on the toes. Oh, you I need to warm up with you. You can do it.
Alright. That's usually like drank coffee and judge.
Bring it into jacks. Don't start. It's too early, isn't it? Again, with this jumping jack, you can move this way instead if you need to.
Yeah, always the one-peg options, guys. Don't feel like you're trying to keep up. Never take it with the stride, first with the stride, the head impact like Maria's doing, the low impact. Or if no limb suit, guys, just do that. Jog the spot, keep it light. Again, you're not trying to keep up with the advanced exercises. You're trying to do what you're able to do for your starting point. So don't force yourself into it, because all that happens is you leave yourself feeling disheartened, thinking that you can't do it.
Jog it.
And realistically, there's enough options in all these exercises for everyone. And if you only want to do 1 round for the first week,
that's fine too. Speed it up now for a few seconds. Get the heart rate up. And nice big circles with the arms. Deep breaths here. Not as much kicking today. And back. Oh, there we go.
crock.
Let's bring the arms out. So after all the arm work that we did yesterday, we'll just give a wee extra stretch this morning. Go diagonal with those arms. 3 each side. Deep breaths. So you're going to plant the feet, soften the knees, I'll say that, and you're going to rotate the pelvis to one side. Get a good stretch in the lower back here as well. Change direction. And then you're going to bring it down into a squat, holding onto the toes. Push the bum up into the air, and allow the back of those legs to stretch out. Ooh.
Tight?
Yeah. Always tight.
Back in. Set up.
And this time,
Amen.
use the elbows and rotate the hips ever so slightly. Bring the hands down, carefully sit yourself into a plank position. Bring the foot up towards the hand. So if you can only come as far as here, that's okay. You're just going to open up the hips, and eventually you will be able to get to here. If you want to progress into a deeper stretch there, push the elbow towards the toe.
Yep.
As you come up.
For those that are here a while.
So again, we've got 3 different levels of the one move, each of which is effective depending on your ability.
Yeah.
Half squat. Bring it down onto your side. Bottom leg is straight. Top leg.
Just bring the top knee up to your chest.
And you're going to rotate.
Twist your waist as well. Don't just move the arm and not move the waist. Twist that waist also.
6 each side. Turn that chest towards the ceiling. And then roll over. Let's play that back. It's a little story.
The breakdancing.
Yeah. Stop. When you've done 6, you're going to roll onto your back.
That was my 5.
And you can do 12 with both heels on the floor, pushing up the pelvis towards the ceiling and then rolling onto the spine back down. Or you can do what Emmett's doing there, where he's got 6 each side, whichever you can do. But again, it's not the tummy that goes towards the ceiling, it's the hip bones.
So you have 2 hip bones pointing out, drag down up to the ceiling.
And roll it
Not
back
this
down.
way, slightly this way so that you roll through. See if you're arching that back.
And when you've done 6 each side, or 12 on both legs, carefully bring it up, grab a quick drink, and we're going to get started straight into our cardio core session. You right there?
How do we yawn?
Right.
How do we yawn? What are you doing? Start with crunch? Or are you going to start cardio?
Start with cardio.
Right.
So we're going to do...
Here, give me all. You do it,
What?
man. I'll do it again.
Okay.
You start with a jumping jack, higher low impact. After that, we're into a crunch. After that, we're into a lateral skip.
I'm sorry, you're right.
I did a crunch.
Okay.
After that, we're into a plank for stability. We've got squat jump or speed squat, bicycle crunch, hop 2 squat. No, sorry, you want to do the hollow body hold first and finish the bicycle crunch?
Yeah.
Hollow body hold and then hop 2 squat and bicycle crunch. So 8 exercises from this. We are starting with the jumping jack, higher low impact, whenever you're ready. Okay, here, go ahead.
You sure?
Yes.
So jumping jack.
Once you're
Same as
ready.
we did in the warm up. 3, 2, 1.
And
Let's go.
away we go.
So we're out.
We've got high impact or we've got low impact. That's 8 step from there. Or if you want one to bridge in between the two, again just on the toes jog it out. Whichever suits you. You've got low impact or high impact. If you have pelvic floor issues or you find that it almost feels as if you're going to sort of pee whenever you're doing this lateral movement because of the,
We watch some time.
the lateral movement, yes I am. It's only 15 seconds.
Right.
Then go into that step back from here. Because this can affect the pelvic floor region, especially after people will have had children. So again, you can pick it up.
Okay, that's
Or
40 seconds.
That is 3,
2.
2, 1. That is 40 seconds.
Okay. Whatever you say, that seems like a lot longer than 40 seconds.
See what happens then whenever I'm doing it and then
Oh,
she
trust
says,
you.
look at this here. Look
Yeah.
at this. Because she couldn't see the time, she's freaking out. Down on that floor and do your crunch.
You start chatting and you just keep going and then it's
Time
like, yeah.
wasn't
Right.
up.
Okay, just basic crunch now, yes?
Just a basic crunch there,
Okay.
yeah.
So, you're starting on your back, bring your head and shoulders up. When your head and shoulders are here, freeze in that position, and that's as far as you go up or down. When you move up then, you come back to there. Ready to go?
So,
This is what we're doing.
right,
3,
we're doing a sit up instead.
2, 1,
Let's go.
let's go. Up and down. So do you see what I mean? You come to here and back. Your hands are going to move up and down your thighs because you're contracting here. Not because you're moving them, it's because you're controlling the movement with here.
And not the head either. So don't start nodding your head back and forward. And don't leave your head hanging back because this is how you strain your neck. Imagine you're holding a tennis ball against your chest. Hold it there. That doesn't move then. And then the flexion comes from the shoulders coming up and down off the floor. So your shoulder blades and shoulders should be leaving the mat. And there's your full crunch position here with the legs up for the advance. So, or you can flex towards the toes also. But it's all coming from that flexion and tight. We're bringing it back up. You're into a lateral skip.
Yeah, so we're going to follow this one. Depending on the space that you have, I'll show a few variations. Find your own beat here and continue to do it to that number. If you have music going, go with the beat of the music as well. So you can go side to side and stop. 1, 2, 3. So I have loads of room here. I can also do 1, 2, 1, 2, depending on the space.
Yeah.
If you want, I'll show, go ahead, I'll show it as we go.
3, 2, 1, let's go.
So you're skipping to the side. If you want to progress, bring the knee up to meet the hand. Or then you can go further, but bring the knee up to meet the opposite elbow. But keep the chest tall. Or you can just stop here.
If you're a beginner, you can just step
Here,
this.
this is fine.
You just step behind, side to side. 20 seconds.
Depends on the space that you
Yeah.
have.
But you can also move back a wee bit and keep
Yeah.
yourself going.
Go ahead.
So beginners, you can also just step,
Yes.
touch, step, to side, touch, step, side to side. So a small step behind and touch. You're into just a lateral movement with that. 5 seconds. Time. So we're going to take it down into a plank. So plank position, it is important to remember that pelvic tilt underneath. So often in the plank, people are like this. So they get in and the back's stronger than the core, so the core's collapsed, back is arched, butt is up in there. You need to bring that pelvis under. So you're tucking your butt under and you're pulling your rib cage down, so you're not flared out. It's neutral, so that flattens that back. keeps the tension on in that plank. You ready, Dana?
Yeah, I'm just going to be the start timer.
3, 2, 1, let's go.
So again, I'm here. I'm going to tuck that pelvis.
Squeeze loose, tighten the core.
Lessen the distance between the rib cage and the pelvis.
And then if you want to go to a kneeling plank, go back up again. So the only thing you do is you drop the knee and then the other knee. So you haven't brought the knees under you forward, because when you bring it under you forward, you're into a box position, you've lost the plank. Maria's still on the plank. So from here, if you look at the pelvis, this region here, go back up. This is solid. When she puts the knees down, that didn't change.
Nothing moves.
The length of the lever changed. Last 10 seconds.
So you should be shaking. Don't panic if you're shaking.
Yeah.
It's perfectly normal.
Squeeze
And
everything in your
again,
plank.
the core is tight. If someone was to poke you in the tummy now, it wouldn't affect
Time. Bring it up. You're back into a squat jump. So everything should be solid in the plank. 3, 2, 1, let's go.
So we're
Maria
pushing
should
up.
jump with that squat jump. I am going to do the opposite, so it's just a fast speed squat. Down onto my toes, back up. Using the hands just as Maria is as well, to throw you up and down.
So
Only
imagine you're pushing yourself off the ground with your hands.
that way.
Yeah.
So I'm coming up onto the toes, back down.
Halfway.
The only difference in the two is I'm not jumping, so there's no impact. 15 seconds. So up and down, nice and light. Use the hands. Throw yourself up with the hands. Hands come up forward on the way down. Doesn't matter if you're doing the opposite, where you're actually doing this. Doesn't matter. Just keep it going. 5 seconds.
3, 2,
Okay.
time. Don't stop when you hear 3.
Yes.
3 is just telling you it's
We all know you do it. Whole body roll. There we go. So what you do here is you come up into this position, bend the knees, point your hands this way towards me. Now, crunch up. No, keep that there. This beginner's variation.
Yes. Okay.
So there, knees in, chin tucked, head up, and hold. This is what we're doing for the start. So keep that chin forward. If you leave your head hanging back, the weight of your head now is pulling that neck, and this is where you're going to get a neck straight. Tuck it. Hold that tennis ball right here. Get your shoulders off the floor. So crunch up and hold that position. So Maria's shoulder blades have a bit of air on them here. This is solid. These are 90 degrees to keep pressure off. If it starts to get difficult, pull the knees in slightly more. If it's easy, extend the legs slightly more. So the position of the legs will determine it. If your back is arched, if you've got a huge arch in your lower back, pull that in, bend your knees down, pull it on in, and then just hold that position until that back flattens out. And time. Good. Hop. Hop to squat.
Up to squat.
So you can either step this or you can jump this. Whenever you're ready, 3, 2, she doesn't trust me. Away we go. So Maria's touching, feet together, touch, feet together, touch. The basic variation, if you don't want to do the jump, is step to one side, back up. Step to the other side, back up. Step out. You're not going overly wide here, it's a small step. Squat down, feet together, small steps. So that's the exact same as what Maria's doing. Only difference is she's got impact and then I don't have impact. Keep it moving. 15 seconds. Last 10 seconds. Come on, keep moving, keep moving, keep moving. Either step or jump it.
If you have music going, blast
Crank it up. That way you won't hear us
it.
wrong.
3, 2,
Time.
1 more. And time.
Bicycle crunch, you finish. There's two options with this. You've either got feet on the floor for a basic variation, or the advanced is feet in the air. None of them are this. Show the
Hang on now.
elbows and knees. None of them are this. This elbows doing this here and legs doing this here thing here, because the thing that isn't working then is your core. All you're doing is flailing your arms and legs. It's control. So shoulders are up, you come up and meet one knee, one foot stays on the floor, back down, other foot stays on the floor, back
It's
down.
like armpit that goes to the knee, not the
Yeah,
elbow.
it's controlled movement. Advanced, legs up, full extension, full rotation, stop in the middle. Tension is always on that core. You're not moving your head, you're lifting the shoulder in order to contract the oblique. Pick one of those that suit. 3, 2, 1, last one before the break, away we go. Again, round 2 we won't be chatting too much, we'll be going straight through it. So Maria's doing advanced, she's pushing through her heel, not her toe, so that the leg stays solid. The other knee pulls in, and then shoulders coming off the floor, armpit towards the knee. Obviously you aren't going to touch it, and you're not forcing anything. It's a controlled movement. If that seems impossible, both feet on the floor, and then you come up and meet one knee.
But your elbow goes towards the ceiling and your armpit goes towards the knee.
So you're not trying to touch your elbow off your knee. Whenever you touch your elbow against your knee, you reduce the range of motion. We are into the last 5 seconds. Keep that moving.
So again, you're not rocking here. Your back is flat on the floor and your core is tight.
Time. Grab it around.
So you'll see often people look like they're upturned turtles when they do that movement. They're all over the place. As with everything, controlled key movements. Everything's strong and slow.
Yes. You'll feel the core work a lot better doing it that way. So you will. Most people, whenever we get them into doing it in this way rather than doing it the way that most people tend to have done over the years, all of a sudden it's like I can feel my core working, and using sit-ups, all I do is I either feel my neck or I feel my lower back working, because you're trying to force things up because you haven't built up strength in your core. Once you do it slow and controlled, usually about 10 or 15 seconds into that movement, you start going, there's my core.
But there is this thing that when you see people in the gym or online and they're doing it really fast, you think, God, they're flying. They're not doing it properly. They're going fast because they're using their limbs rather than their core.
Yeah, momentum.
So
also online, there's a lot of people online that are showing stuff that as, oh my God, I'm a technique freak, so I'm training 25, 26 years. Technique has to be right. So whenever you're ready, we are starting from the start. We'll go straight through this time. We've done our techniques. Watch it back if you need. Jumping jacks to start, high or low impact. Push this straight through. 3, 2, 1, let's go. On the toes, nice and light. And keep the arms bent like this here. So don't be out here doing this old style jumping jack with this sort of thing here. The amount of energy and the amount of pressure in your joints. Sharp. Here. Lateral movement, if it doesn't suit because of pelvic floor, forward and back into a power stride even. If that suits. If that doesn't suit, go into a jog. If that doesn't suit, low impact and here. So loads of ways you can do it without putting unnecessary stress on yourself. 15 seconds. Last 10 seconds. Keep that moving.
soft knees, guys.
Yeah,
Make sure they're not
soft knee. Keep it up, keep it up, keep it up. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Crunch. Basic setup. Feet in the air. Basic crunch. We'll work through a couple of variations. They all follow a similar format. Shoulders are up first, and then move from that position.
So get your Elsa on.
3, 2,
Freeze.
1. Let's go.
We freeze, and then we move from there.
Yes. Hold that tennis ball against your chest, that chin tuck to protect the neck from here.
So my whole frame is locked, and all that's moving.
Yeah, the only thing moving is she's putting air under her shoulder blades touch. She's not coming all the way back to the mat. What happens then is this is under tension the whole way through. So this is solid and working the whole way through. 15 seconds. And then legs up adds more pressure immediately, because now your core has to stabilise the legs as well as crunching against them. But it's still, this hasn't changed. And time. Good stuff. Back on the feet. Lateral skip or step. 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
So again.
You step it,
Step.
touch. 1, 2, 3, touch. 1, 2, 3, touch.
Once you're confident there, add a jump.
Add a skip. If that is still too easy, bring in the knee.
So you can bring the knee to the hand
Up.
to start. Make sure the chest stays tall, and if the only
Yeah.
thing that meets your knee is your hand.
If that's still too
And then-
easy, let's go all the way up. What happens here is that the knee lift is also getting into that, similar to the mountain
Crunch.
climber, that crunch as you bring it across. Taking the core as you
Last
do it.
10.
Crunch.
But you don't bend down. People
No.
do this. No.
No, stay tall.
Stay tall.
Time, good stuff.
Let's
Plank.
finish it out. Never stop in the middle of the movement.
Whenever you're ready, tuck that pelvis under, everything squeezed in your plank.
So from here to
3,
here.
2, 1, let's go. So with the plank, the body is solid the whole way through. People get into a plank and then they sort of tighten their core, and really all they're doing is holding their breath. It's this sort of here, but then everything else is loose, and they're looking around them when they're doing things like this. That plank is locked. Everything, arms, chest, glutes, legs, core, everything's squeezed tight. It's a full body movement. The plank, whenever you get into it, you shouldn't be able to move the person. So Maria is solid. If I push her, she's not moving. It's solid the whole way through because everything's tight in your plank. We're coming up in 5 seconds. The core is more than just here. That full 360 core is what we're working with. Time. Good stuff? And that's what we want with the plank. That's why everything needs to be working on your plank. Squat
That's
jump.
also why it's a good exercise. If there's anything else that doesn't suit you, go to the plank.
Yeah.
Great default exercise to
Build
keep
up
everything going.
strength in your core. A lot of people need it. You have to time
Squat
yourself.
jump.
Squat jump or speed
3,
squat.
2, 1.
Maria's going
let's
to jump,
go.
I'll do the speed squat up and down. Again, I'm on my toes back down, Maria's jumping up and down,
And
whichever suits.
I'm landing on my toes. Watch from the side. I jump, I land on my top toes and I go down.
Sink back.
My
and
heels
go back.
actually very rarely actually touch the ground apart from that bottom position.
Yeah, bottom position.
If you're landing
sink
there like
back.
that, that's
Don't want-
going to bust your knees, okay? So
Don't want heavy.
nice and light on the toes, soft knees always.
And if you
Back
can't,
straight.
if you can't jump and land light, then you go on to this.
Yes.
Just toes and back down. Last 10 seconds.
And eventually you'll want to do the jump because
So
it's
you
fun.
take an impact out of it. 5 seconds.
Let's go one more.
Time.
And time, well done.
Good stuff. We're into your whole body hold. So again, your lower back and the position of your legs is what determines where you need to be. Go on the floor, lift your legs, shoulders up, point your hands. If there's no arch in your lower back and it feels comfortable, extend very slightly. If there is an arch in your lower back and it doesn't feel comfortable, pull them in closer. 3, 2, 1, let's go.
So you're looking through your legs here.
Yeah.
In the advanced version of this, you should be able to actually look near the interlaces.
Yeah, and if you want, you keep your shoulders up and you can stretch the hands out to advance even more. But when you do this, don't collapse back to the floor. Hold the position. 15 seconds. Keep that solid, guys. So you can see now that Maria, well, you might be able to see, but I can see Maria's, the vibrations start to kick in the full way through the body. It's this sort of shake. That's the core working. 5 seconds. It's trying to support itself up. And time. Good stuff. Hop to squat. Either step it or jump it. You ready? 3, 2, 1. Let's go. So Maria's going to jump.
Center step down.
Touch in the middle.
1, 2,
Out.
3.
Touch
Soft
in the
knees
middle,
again.
out. If that doesn't suit, beat the other. Touch in the middle. Squat to one side. Touch. Squat to the other side. Touch. Squat to one side. Touch. Squat to the other side. Touch. And then you keep both moving, whichever one suits you.
Push the bum back, keep the chest tall.
20 seconds.
Now when you've got your rhythm,
Last
try and
10.
keep it. You have to slow down, slow down. But if you can, keep it going. Come on.
Come on. 3, 2,
And finish it out.
1. Lovely. Base and crunch to finish. Last exercise.
Whew.
So again, either feet on the floor or both feet in the air. Start with the feet on the floor. You alright there? 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
So again, freeze,
Yeah.
up, down.
So,
Armpit to knee.
and the head and shoulders aren't going back to the floor. Maria's not collapsing all the way back to the floor. They have to pull herself right off the floor again. She's already in a semi-crunch here. And then it comes from this up. If she's doing advanced, that semi-crunch is still here. You're not relaxed back to the floor. So this is disengaged. And then you start rotating through that engagement, which is what keeps this working under tension the
And
whole
you're not
time.
actually holding your head.
No.
You're only touching your head for balance or
You
for
can support the head if you need, but
guidance.
don't pull the neck. Don't start pulling your head. 5 seconds. And 10. Well done.
Hold onto the legs, roll yourself up. Well done.
That is that.
So we'll walk around for a few seconds
Yeah.
now, grab a drink, and let's bring the heart rate back down because although that was a short, snappy session, I'm saturated here. And your heart rate should be up after that. So bring it back down, deep breaths, and just move or walk
Yes.
or bob and weave, whichever you want to do.
Get the heart rate back and keep it
Leave
moving.
that there and use the stretch.
Okay. You stretch the floor.
Yeah. Nice, deep breaths. So when you feel that your heart rate has started to come down a wee bit, let's just go back to the big arm movements just to get the shoulders down. Because often you finish these and you're up here. So we need to bring the shoulders down. Forward
Relax.
and relax. Deep breaths through the nose and out through the mouth. Change direction. One more. Bring the arms here. I want your shoulder roll up and back and down. From the side, up and down.
And don't skip your stretches, guys.
One more.
Especially for loosening yourself out and for injury prevention. If you're always skipping the stretch and then you come into the next session tight, there's only so long that you will be able to do that where you keep coming in tighter and tighter and tighter before something pops. Lengthen the body out, stretch it out. Push your hands to this wall, push your heels to this wall. Ribcage off, belly button in. Imagine you're on a rack and it's pulling you apart.
Bring the feet and knees together. We're going to
Yeah.
bring the knees into the chest and hold them here.
Hug them in, you stretch that lower back.
Nice stretch there. If you can then, just very gently, move the weight from side to side and let the floor roll out that lower back. Just nice small movement. Keep hold of the left knee, extend the right heel either out or up, whichever you can do.
Yeah.
So even with the stretches, there's always levels of modification. Most people go to here, others can go to there. Keep the back flat on the floor. Bring the knee back in and carefully switch over. Again, you're going up here or you're going here. Heel goes first always, no pointy toes. Bring both back together, plant the feet on the floor. Bring one ankle up on to the other knee. Now beginners, use the hand and just push that knee forward. If you're not a beginner, bring the hands through and pull that leg back. Your toe will go to the sky automatically. Push the heel.
Get into that calf.
Into the calf. I need to rub my calves out tonight, they're sore. And then again, carefully switching over. You'll hear us say the word carefully a lot during the stretches, because this is where people hurt themselves more so than doing the exercises.
Too short, too fast, and forcing themselves into it. That sort of thing. Oh, I'll do this here, and I'll do this here, and I'll do this here. Stretch it up, and then that's me done. Walk away. You've not really stretched anything, guys. You need a certain level of hold in that stretch. You're looking at a basic 15 seconds, sort of nearly for each one.
Yeah, and each of you will want to hold it a different length of time. Onto your side now, or onto your front. I'll show the first one on the front. Hands out in front for balance. Straight line here, and you're going to bring the foot to the heel and bring the knee back together again. So there's a straight line from my heel to my shoulders, and I'm pushing the pelvis forward. So stretch out that quad. If you can do this on your front, go ahead, and if not, now roll over to the other side. I'll show this time on my front, and I'm going to bring the heel to the bum, and again I'm pushing my pelvis into the floor, and you'll feel that in the quad where you get a deeper stretch.
That's that pelvic tilt we talk about in the plank. That's a good way to practice it. Push your pelvis into the floor. It actually flattens out your lower back and engages.
Bring the hands below the shoulders now, and very, very carefully just put your weight onto your hands and just glance at the wall in front of you, or if you can without stretching your back, go to the ceiling. But don't throw yourself back up into this, you'll hurt your lower back. Bring the bum up and back onto the knees, and allow those shoulders to stretch out in child pose. Put the toes into the floor, bum in the air, and push those heels back into the floor. Stretch out the calves again, and use your hands to walk yourself back up to stand. And just very quickly, we're going to push the hands forward. Again, soft knees, tuck the pelvis. Arms out to the side, and then back a little bit more. Deep breaths. I have water running out of everything here. My eyeballs are even sweating. Hands go to the top. Stretch up again. Look at how it's a straight line. You often see people doing this. No. I have a strong core and I can't even do that. So you go to the top. And then we bring the hands behind and roll the shoulders back.
Roll the shoulders back, guys. If you don't roll the shoulders back and leave them forward, what happens is when you go up, the shoulder gets pushed forward in the socket. So roll that shoulder back, so when you stretch up, you're getting a stretch through the chest into the bicep.
Actually, water is
saturated
off me. Thank you very much.
And so, guys, hope you enjoyed that. Probably a little bit more instruction than we normally do, just because, again, we have a lot of new people in the group and we want to get that technique emphasis put down for you.
And you'll see as well that last night we posted the new introduction thread. So if you are new to the group, or even if you're not new to the group, go in and say hello and introduce each other, and we'll join in and have some fun there as well. It's nice to know where you're all at and what level you see yourself at. Don't be afraid to say absolute beginner or I've been training for years. Tell us so that we can